Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dirty Closet Podcast, where even if your closet is clean,
It's
dirty
dirty
today.
today.
That's
You
right.
already know.
That's right. Hello, I am Charlie Rocket, and I am here with my co-host.
The rise of Jay Jones, aka Jay Sauce the Boss, El Presidente, Lord Sensei.
I need more nicknames so I can be like you. The only nickname, no, that wasn't even a nickname. Somebody just mistook me for Sean White.
Oh yeah, no.
Olympic snowboarder
Sean
White.
White. On the east side of
Whoa,
Atlanta,
man.
Sean
What are
White.
you doing here?
In Decatur, Sean White.
But anywho, how have you been, my love?
Let me tell you something. I've been pretty good. You know, I'm pretty much on my training arc BS right now. No, for real. I've been working out,
Yeah.
eating better, drinking water, no juice, no soda, none of that. Running the hills, weighted vest, like on my Goku hyperbolic time chamber kind of situation.
Yeah,
But not alone either. So let's talk about
I try.
that. No, she doesn't try.
I
She
dabble.
succeeds.
I dabble.
Okay.
I'm not going to
She's
say
right there
I'm
in
just
the mud
drinking
with me.
water.
Yeah, okay.
But,
okay. So I'm not going to speak to the nutrition, but the effort part and the working out, almost every time I go to run, I have a partner. And
yes.
it's right over here.
Yeah.
So, you know, I want to be able to spread the love. Not just that, though. I was able to see Creed 3.
Ooh.
But not only was I able to see it, I mean, somebody took me on a date. That's
You're right.
crazy. Like, I wonder
You're
who.
right. I did take you out.
Oh yeah, that was you. What?
Wine and dine you a little bit.
Oh, she did, man. Let me tell you something.
Like
At the end of the night, I put out. I did. Cat's out of the bag, y'all.
I'm done. Did I seduce you?
Oh,
Did you have a great date?
Not only was I seduced and like that
And
was
schemed.
seduction, I was seducted. Like, you know how abducted is a word? I was seducted. Like, I came back to my own crib. Like, wow, how could you show me? I can show you the world.
I pulled the Aladdin on you.
She did. She got me.
Yeah.
Street rat.
Yeah, we had a nice dinner. We had a nice dinner. We went out to dinner,
the food was
and
amazing.
then we went to see Creed 3.
We did.
Okay.
Dinner and a movie.
Dinner
you know,
and a movie. The
let me tell you something.
classics.
That Charlie
classics
Rocket
work,
play,
y'all.
it don't miss. It don't miss. She said, shimmy, shimmy, I shoot.
I was like, shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Puffs, right?
Yeah, right.
Anyways.
Shimmy, down.
But also, we have a couple of cons coming up in May.
It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May. May 20th and 21st.
Oh, we don't get sued.
You know what? Both of our cons are actually local cons because we haven't been to a lot of local cons recently.
And you know what? Can I tell you something? I know Charlie Rocket is a big deal locally. I need to get my name out there. Like, as a Rising Jay Jones, I care about y'all. I want to meet y'all. Like, I'm a friendly person. Like, I'm trying to be. Let's be gang.
He's a man of the people.
I am a man of the people. Let's hang out. Let's vibe. Let's catch a vibe. I'm a cool dude.
Yeah.
You're people. You gotta be cool. You gotta be cool people. Like, if you're watching this, you're already cool. Like, it stamps, signed, sealed, delivered. You're cool.
That's right. And so, all of you local people who want to come see us and meet him and see me for the 150th time, we will be.
Feels like the first time.
We will be at SableCon May 20th and 21st. SableCon is actually a brand new convention, Black owned, and it is celebrating Black comics and anime.
You know how we feel. We rooting for everybody Black around here. Look at.
Sure do. Just like Issa.
You see this right here? Yeah, shout out to Issa Rae.
But in addition to SableCon, we will also be at Animazement this year, Memorial Day weekend.
So amazing and amazing.
We are joining Fatal Fanatics and a bunch of our cosplay friends, cosplay buddies, and we'll be doing a bunch of panels at Animazement.
You already know it's Cos Gang out there.
So come check us out.
Yeah, please do. Show us love. You know what I mean? Dirty Closet Pals. Come get your closet dirty. Why are you keeping it clean?
Go for it.
Society told you to? That's weird.
But lastly, before we get into our topic, I also have been doing one other thing.
Oh, let me know.
Recently.
What you been doing? What you been up to?
Actually, you know what? I wasn't sure if I was going to bring this up, but my divorce was finalized recently.
Oh my goodness. Is it the independence of Charlie Rocket?
Actually, on Mario Day. So because leave it to me to also get divorce nerdy.
So you know what that means? When they asked her if she was ready and to be done with it, she was like, "Let's go."
Oh,
here we
go. But the reason why I wasn't sure if I wanted to bring it up, divorce is always like a very taboo topic. You know what I mean?
And also, can I say something really quickly?
Yes.
Just to take the heat off of you, I'm also divorced. So it happens. Like, you know, they say 1 in like 4 people get divorced. So the odds are that like you and
they're pretty high.
After a certain age.
They're pretty high.
It's pretty high. So I'll let you finish what you're saying, but I just wanted to say that like it like I'm not over here like, what, you got divorced? I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I was first.
No, but there's a lot of stigma tied to divorce, but there's also a lot of people who don't know what divorce entails. And so I know that me personally, I had a lot of ideas about what divorce was going to look like, and it was not that at all. Clearly, it took a very long time. And also, like, different states have different rules because clearly we had 2 very different situations. You know what I mean?
So on the east side of Atlanta, I think I wanted to get divorced, and then 4 months later, I think I was just divorced. Like I went down there, went to the courthouse, papers were signed, you know, judges were met, banging the gavel. Next thing you know, paperwork, I'm free to go.
Yeah.
They also told me I can get married again in like the next 24 hours. Wild.
Whoa. Well, Atlanta do what it do. That's why.
Hey, you know.
Atlanta do what it
Atlanta.
do. But yeah, we're in the Bible Belt over here in North Carolina. So it took me quite some time, especially with this pandemic. So
the pandemic hit.
Happy to be celebrating that's done. I'm just really tired of going back and forth to the courthouse.
Back and forth with these people.
I'm not doing it. So I'll probably touch on that in another episode of this.
Yeah, that feels like a little more devoted. Like
yeah.
We got to hear about the emancipation of like Charlie Rocket.
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't go that far, but
okay,
I would actually.
I was gonna reel it back, but now I'm like, you know, let her cook.
Anywho, but that brings us to today's topic, a completely different topic.
Because we're agreeing so much. So what's the opposite of an agreement, Charlie Rocket?
I guess an argument, a disagreement.
Yeah, same thing, same deal.
Yeah, so we're talking arguments today. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this topic is because a lot of people give us the same little comments. They say, oh, you guys probably never fight. You guys probably never get in arguments. And I'm here to tell you no, that is incorrect.
So the way I feel about it is stop the cap. We're human. Humans have different life experiences. They go on different life paths. And just the fact that we're 2 different people means at some point we're not going to agree. And that's okay. That's just the natural order of things. Like you're not going to agree on everything. We all have free will, and sometimes that free will takes us different places, aka Free Willy. But no, it's just one of those things where you're gonna butt heads, but at the same time, how do you do it? It's the big part of that, I feel. Yeah. Like, and what you're willing to also be receptive to. Yeah,
I think the way that we present ourselves, it definitely lets people know that we're super close. And a lot of times we don't argue often, but
no, it's not like that.
But what the real deal is that we're actually best friends. And I think the problem is when people get into relationships and say they're best friends with their partner or their spouse or something like that. I don't think I really understood what that meant prior to this relationship. I feel like we categorize what kind of best friend this person is. You know what I mean? This is my best friend in my relationship. This is my best friend from high school. This is my best friend from college. You know, like these little different
what's that called?
segments.
Qualifiers. Like it's like,
yeah,
you gotta put asterisks on it. This is my best friend at this point in my life.
right.
When I was this, when I decided to do this thing.
And when somebody falls into that like relationship best friend category, I think people just think about, this is the person I spend a lot of my time with. This is the person I like hanging out with.
That's a fact.
I like doing stuff with this person. But like, I think that's where that ends. Like the best friend thing. I tell this person my secrets, maybe, they know the most about me, but like, that's where it ends. But in reality, our best friends, we fight with them. We argue with them. We have disagreements. And sometimes they never have closure.
Yeah, like being best friends literally means at some point you're gonna have a fallout. That's just what happens. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like what is it? Civil War.
Yeah.
It's just like family fighting family.
Oh man, I still don't agree with Civil War. Cat was out of control. Anyways,
no, you don't have to
we'll
agree
get to
for
that
it
later.
Hey, you don't have to agree for it to happen.
Hey, that's true. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's Exhibit A.
That's the whole problem.
But basically, your best friend has put in so much work. That's how they became your best friend. Something happened that made you guys best friends and connected that closely. And so they've put in this amount of work. And so now they deserve the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, so really even when a lot of these arguments don't have an ending or don't have closure, or the other person doesn't necessarily apologize, you guys end up being best friends again the next day. Like even these like Real Housewives and stuff. Like I remember Nene and Kim at the beginning of Real Housewives of Atlanta constantly saying, I'm never talking to this girl again. I'm never talking to this girl. And then the next episode be back talking. Because with your best friend, they deserve the benefit of the doubt. And eventually you're just going to be like, well, I know they're my best friend and I have to.
It's like one of those moments where like you get in your feelings, and as soon as you get out of your feelings, you're good again. It's
the same thing with your relationship. If this person is realistically your best friend, then they have put in the work. And they deserve benefit of the doubt sometimes. Like, of course, conversation and communication, always necessary.
It makes perfect sense.
But sometimes you're not always going to see eye to eye. You're not always going to come to a conclusion that's good for everybody. Something's got to give. And I know it's like happy wife, happy life. I know a lot of guys do that. And you know what? I subscribe to that too.
I bet you do. What? Newsflash.
But hold on.
Charlie Rocket.
This is the only time anyone is ever getting this. So listen up. Ladies, y'all have to do it too. So sometimes you have to give benefit of the doubt to your man. But that's why it's important to pick the right person. Because you can't give that to everybody.
Yeah, and as a man, I got to say that not all of us are like deserving of it. Because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like you do fucked up shit, like fucked up shit comes back to you. Play stupid games, win what?
Stupid prizes.
So like, don't play stupid games. It's as simple as that. I don't know what else to say.
We finish each other's
sentences and sandwiches.
Okay. Yeah. Either one was right because I immediately thought of further. But I digress. It's really important to just see your partner actually as, this sounds bad, as a person.
It is though. Like
not as another man or another woman who's doing the same thing as somebody else. I know it's annoying. I know it's difficult. I know that like 50 other people really sucked because trust me, I'm aware. You see me? Look at me in the eye. No, trust me. Right. Look at me for real.
I'm the captain.
I'm aware. But at the end of the day, you still got to get rid of all of that if you're going to be able to move on to a healthy relationship with somebody else.
That makes perfect sense to me.
So in an argument, who are you in an argument? What kind of persona? What kind of person are you in an argument? Not just in relationships, but also like just with other people.
So to be completely honest, like I'm so chill and I'm so cool and I'm able to convey myself in a way that I don't argue that much. Like people usually get me and that's kind of where it ends.
Yeah.
But when push comes to shove, I'm gonna just let you know what it is. Like, I am a fact layer, but also I am like lay waste to the land. Like, would you fail to understand what reason you will?
You're an Aries, is what you're saying.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna lie. Once it's finally there, like, I'm not only gonna let you know why you're wrong, I'm gonna let you know how you're wrong, and I'm gonna let you know how it couldn't be me. Like, like, it's just, I gotta cover all grounds.
Yeah.
But it's very rare that it gets to that point. And also, I would love to understand you. I'd much rather not argue. Like 9 million times out of 10. I would much rather understand where your point of view is coming from, have you understand me, and we end it without any sort of that.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. I don't run from smoke. I climb the chimney. So, like, it just is what it is. Like, if you want to get funny, we can get hilarious, and I'm very good with it. So, like, in an argument,
fire signs.
Hey, I'm just gonna let you know, an argument, like, if you think you're hurting my feelings, I hope you already have your feelings hurt too. And it sucks because I want to be the bigger man, but the bigger man was before the argument. I swear to God, it was. Swear it was.
You know what? That's really accurate, actually. Yeah, because you are a great communicator and you try to avoid arguments
at all
when
costs.
necessary.
At all costs. I really don't want to argue.
But as soon as it gets to a level where you're a part of an argument, it's already too late.
It's too late. Like, at that point, like, I don't believe in, like,
it's already too late.
I don't feel like taps. I feel like overwhelming force. Like,
yeah.
I just, like, you probably know yourself at that point. Like, I tried to just, let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's communicate.
You tried it out.
I tried to be human.
So for me, I don't want to always be like, because I'm autistic. Anyways, I'm learning now that with autism comes a lot of great things, but also
picture Uncle Ben. With autism comes great responsibility.
Right, comes great responsibility. It is math.
Going up on that algebra.
No, but I think with that, I just really don't like confrontation. I really can't stand arguments, confrontation, that kind of thing. In those situations, the back and forth is so quick and you have to have a response ready and you have to really process what they're saying and then respond back. And if you don't, then it's not going to be accurate enough and then blah, blah, blah. It's too much. It's too much for me. Sure. I already have difficulty with communication on a regular back and forth level, but then in an argument, you never know like what's thrown at you. And I constantly feel attacked. I'm going to constantly feel like, I'm back to the corner. I'm scared of everything. Loud noises. Like, you know what I mean? It's a combination between that, my own mental health and like inner voices, inner saboteur, you know what I mean? And my past that has come to this lovely combination that makes me just want to avoid it at all costs.
I would like to call that anxiety gumbo.
It's my anxiety gumbo.
Look at that.
Yes, and
of stress.
It's casserole of chaos.
All this.
Look, I did one.
Oh, you did it. I'm not gonna, like, we're done.
Okay, great. One was enough. Autism. Okay, so
she can say that.
So I don't like to get into arguments, but when I am in them, I feel like it's a can of worms. It's just like you, I guess. Except for the communication part. I'm not communicating well up front, but I am avoiding arguments. So I am just.
And I mean, that's bare minimum. You can like that's enough to not be in arguments. Like, it's hard to argue with somebody that doesn't want to argue with you.
The problem
takes a lot for those other people to overstep and be like, no, I know she doesn't want to argue, but
I don't know. I don't know if people know I don't want to. I don't know. I don't know how I keep getting in them if I keep trying to avoid them. But I have the issue where I'm like constantly apologizing. And I feel like that's supposed to get me out of having the argument, and it doesn't, because it doesn't actually help anything. So ladies, stop apologizing. That's what I got from that.
Whole caveat, unless like you're actively wrong. Like if you hit somebody's car, she's not saying don't apologize and be like, how dare you be in my
speed
streets.
off. Just speed off and say, ha ha, woman tax.
Yeah, so Charlie Rocket endorses hits and runs. So
no, I do. But
smash and dash.
So now that we know who you are in arguments in general, in relationships, has your role in an argument changed as your relationships have grown?
Yes, because my ages have grown.
That's a
to
big
be completely honest, I've grown
factor.
up. I'm not perfect. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that ever since I came out the womb, I knew how to communicate, and I was just like this perfect person that just knew how. I'm not that now. So like, how could I have been that from the beginning? But like throughout the years, I've always tried to grow. Like I've had past relationships where I wasn't that great. Like I was a teenager. I was like 16, 17 years old. I wasn't communicating well.
What were you doing in arguments then?
I wasn't arguing. Like if you wanted to argue with me, I was like, it's over then, I guess. Like, but that's not.
No,
but to be completely honest, it's not anything like I was so confident, like, I could just get somebody else. No, I just assumed that by the time you were yelling at me, it was over. So I was like, dang, can't win me.
See you later.
Cake's been baked. Deuces. So like, that's where I was with it. But then, you get a little bit older, you decide to actually work on yourself, but also you just decide to try in relationships. And then like, as you get older, you do better, better, you grow better. So like, I just decided to keep doing that. And at this point, I know that I'm not beyond the capability to grow. I'm not beyond like being a better person. I'm not beyond being wrong. And in being wrong, there's always a lesson. And I'm not beyond learning.
Yeah.
So just knowing those things helps me to be a better person. But from the get-go, was not that person. But that should let you know that anybody can grow. Like, I wasn't the worst person either, though. I wasn't like, fuck people's feelings. I'm not listening. I started at a pretty good level, but like I kept pushing for better. How about you, though? Like, where did you start as far as arguing in relationships?
Well. Look, I don't know if I'm better now or worse. It's a matter of opinion, I suppose, because when I was younger, I was ready to fight everyone.
I wasn't really about the fight. The fight came to me.
Oh, I wanted the smoke when I was younger, I think. Like, I did want to avoid confrontation. I remember being in middle, maybe high school, and this girl constantly was getting on my nerves because she was like making fun of me. She would say little smart things. Like everything was so annoying, and I'm like this nerdy little whatever who's just trying to like make it through the day at this point.
That's fucked up.
And I just freaking make it through the day.
She was out here. I'm just a kid, and my life is a nightmare.
Let me tell you, I was being bullied all the time, but like this girl was getting on my nerves. That specific day, and I remember I like bottled up so much that like, and then I also just still didn't want the confrontation. So I waited for her to turn around and I was like, I just like, I was like, I had to like, with all my might, throw like 2 middle fingers up as hard as possible.
So it's giving big real fuck you, but don't see
but
me.
Like silently. I was even making those weird silent noises. It was horrible and embarrassing.
That sounds like Animal Crossing noises.
Every time I ever did anything that was like to retaliate in that way, when I didn't want to, I just sort of like left. But I was like, I don't want any parts of this. See you later.
What I'm hearing is you got your lick back.
Yeah, sure. If the silent middle fingers was enough for me and wasn't just embarrassing, then yes. But
I indeed got my lick back.
Yeah. But outside of that, if it was a verbal thing when I was younger, oh, like, forget about it. Mostly with guys. The problem was I didn't want to get in a fight with other women. Sorry, they weren't women at the time. Other girls. I didn't want to get in a fight with other girls because then, like, oh God, like, what is she gonna fight me? Lord, do I have to fight someone? It's gonna be a girl. I don't know what made me think that, like, I didn't want to fight a girl because I felt like it was unfair. But, like, I was ready to fight a man. Or maybe, like, I just felt like, oh, girl, we're all on the same page here.
Can I say that no matter how the cookie crumbles on those two options, fucked up.
I know. I'm sorry. When I was younger, but I grew up in Maryland, and there was a lot of, like, just a lot of douchebags. Just a whole lot of douchebags in my high school. Just like, oh my gosh. I didn't want to use any specifics because I really was about to. But, like, guys, like, I'm just walking around in the hallways and guys, you look like a clown. You're a bitch because you wouldn't give me your whatever you have in your hand. And I'm a stranger. Like, weird random things. So because of that, I was ready for the smoke. I was ready for arguments. I was ready for everything boys used to throw at me. Girls can't do this. Girls can't play video games. Girls can't play sports. Girls can't blah, blah. Oh, yeah? Do it then. Let's play. Let's go. Let's go, bucko. Put them up. What's the sport? I don't even care if I've never played it before. Basketball. That's why I have a bad relationship with basketball, because I had never played. I said, let's do it, bucko. And because I was so much better than him without knowing any of the rules, he had to start.
She's not talking about me, by the way.
Not him. Yeah. He had this is when I was a child. He had to start calling, like, things you don't even call in street basketball. That's ridiculous.
That's a fact.
And how would I know my first day? Foolish. But let it be tag football or something else. Anywho, I was ready to fight boys. But now,
I mean, look at the double chains. Like, it looks like you're still ready to fight boys.
I am. In my mind.
But let me tell you something, boys.
Only on the interwebs.
I'm gonna be completely honest though. If you try to fight her in real life, like, you're not getting the swing off, and that's all. Continue. That's all.
I like how this was about arguments, and now it's about fist fights. I hope you guys know. And we're also threatening our viewers.
We're not threatening our viewers. We're threatening our attackers who happen to be our viewers. But also, we're not threatening.
By the way, if anyone wants to smoke, like, what? Oh my gosh! But it is
because the life you save might be your own. Just trying to let you know.
Past fist fights, because I actually don't fight people. I don't fight people, so let's stop. But
you fought person. Okay, my bad.
That's a story for another.
She's like, hold on. She was like, I go through hell. I go through hell when I fight people. I love to fight people.
So what kind of arguments do we have? Like, clearly not these fist fights we're talking.
Oh, hell
about.
No. I've never laid hands on you a day.
But what kind of arguments do we have?
Disagreements and, like, miscommunications, more so. That's what I mean by disagreements. Like,
yeah, but, like, what do you think they're typically about?
They're typically about other shit that has nothing to do with us. Like, we've had a bad day, we have something going on with our family, with our jobs, even finances sometimes, and it just has nothing to do with either one of us. And we bring it to the other person, and we expect it to be received a certain way. And when it's not, our feelings are hurt, because 99.9% of the time we get what we need. So on that off chance you don't, it feels like the world's biggest betrayal.
Yeah.
Honestly. So, like, I feel like 99% of our arguments happen because 1% of the time we don't get each other. And in that 1%, it feels like all is lost.
Yeah. And also, I think that because we have spent so much time building up a certain level of trust and honesty in our relationship, we've let all of these walls down. And so without the protective walls already up, things just hit you a lot harder.
They really do.
Like even smaller things.
Because you don't expect them from your person.
Yeah, you're not ready for them because they don't happen anymore.
You're like, what is this? That was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
I said, what? and sometimes those small little things can be triggering, especially since I know both of us come from relationships like from our past that were not for us, and people who weren't looking out for our best interests, and just were creating a story and a future for us kind of thing. And so sometimes it's hard.
When the narrative's been laid and you don't agree with the narrative, and then you're upset that you don't want to play some sort of like agreed upon role that you never agreed upon.
Yeah, exactly.
I get that.
And just being with people who don't actually enjoy who you are as a person. They just see what you can be or do for them.
There's like bits and pieces that they appreciate, and they're like, oh, I'll take those pieces, and the rest of those I'll just like die off, I guess.
Yeah. And so now that I'm in this relationship where I'm with somebody who appreciates every part of me, and as I'm discovering more about myself, I'm discovering, autism diagnosis, late in life bisexuality.
Late in life.
Not late in life, but late enough.
Later. Okay.
Later in life. I'm sorry.
No, I feel you. I'm just saying, you got a lot of life to live, baby girl.
Not super late. But anywho, all these things, somebody who can grow with me and learn these new things about me and love me and help me process through them, and vice versa.
Yeah.
When you're in those kind of relationships and something feels like that person isn't seeing you or doesn't understand you, it can be jarring.
To be completely honest, it's one of those things where it's weird because it almost feels like some kind of disconnect, because I've had my mom pass away in the recent year, and she was with me through all of that. She came to me to my hometown, and we visited my family, we stayed there, we did all the things. And so to have somebody see me in my most vulnerable moment and then in another moment just not see me at all, it'll hurt, because it's like, I know you've seen me at like my worst. Yeah. So like to not see me when I'm nowhere near that almost feels like, are you doing it on purpose? Even when they're not.
Yeah.
So then it's just like, that's when you got to give your person the benefit of the doubt. If they're a good person to you, you got to trust on that.
Yeah. I got to say something that you said, even though they're not. I've had to remind myself of that so many times. And I think I learned that from you, because you're always like, well, I know who you are, and I know that you wouldn't do these things on purpose. And I feel like you saying that out loud to me helps me to remember it. You know what I mean?
No, I get that.
Instead of just it being a thought, it's a memory now. And so when I'm in those moments and I'm like, he doesn't care about what I think, or he doesn't, then I think back to you saying that, and I'm like, who is JJ for real? You know what I mean? Who is he for real? There's never been a moment that he didn't care about what I was thinking or feeling. That can't be it. It has to be something else.
And vice versa.
There's a miscommunication.
Because not for nothing, I give you the same thing. I'm like, Charlie is just like a good-hearted, like wants to do her best kind of person. And her best isn't hurting people. She never wants to. Like, that's the last thing you ever want to do. Like you said, you hate confrontation. So the hate confrontation means hate hurting people.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So you know what I mean? I already give you the benefit of the doubt. I just have to get to that point.
Yeah. It's like, it's so difficult, because one of the hardest parts about communication and about navigating through arguments is putting a mirror to yourself. You know what I mean? Like when you're in those situations, a lot of times you're thinking, this person did this to me. It's easy to fall into the victim role.
Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes you are the victim, but the problem is when you are the victim and it's validated, it almost feels like you're validated as being the victim every time, when that's not the case.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't want to succumb to that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be like, because you actually were the victim once doesn't mean you're the victim every time. So like, you have to understand when accountability comes into play. And I didn't want to cut you off, but you made a really good point.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say. But I mean, that's really what it is. It's really one of the hardest things, just in life in general, is putting that mirror to yourself and really seeing, where can I grow in this moment, and what part did I really play in this moment. I know that I'm not a perfect person. I know that I don't know everything, and that's really hard to say.
That's step one.
I don't know everything. I'm not always right. You know what I mean? That's difficult.
Yeah, that's progress too.
Yeah, it is. You're growing with somebody constantly.
Exactly.
Somebody, it doesn't even have to be about a right and a wrong. What it has to be about is reflection, and what are we doing going forward?
That's a fact, because if you're focused on the problem at hand and not growing past it, and just like pitting that on your person, or like not even your person, but your friendship, or like your whatever relationship you're in, it's not going to grow, because you're literally stuck in the past, because you're thinking about this one point in time that's making you so mad. You're not even seeing if they're trying to extend like an olive branch, because you're already made up your mind and you're already just stuck in this moment. You need to be able to believe that growth is possible, and that change is coming.
Yeah, for sure. I always think about that memory of you telling me that. And I also have small things that I do, like in moments where I'm upset and I need to let something go. But do you have anything that you do that helps you like back to reality kind of thing?
Oh, my little kind of like woosah moment.
Yeah.
Honestly, like when I'm too worked up and I feel my heart beating and I feel like just like I'm ready to let it loose, all I got to do is really look at you, and I got to realize that one of two things. One, I know you hate confrontation.
Yeah.
Like, I know that. I'm not in the business of making you feel worse.
Yeah.
So let's start with that. And second of all, if you hate confrontation, then that must mean you're not what? Confrontational.
Yeah.
So then I literally, like, knowing those two things means, wow, that means that there's something that she said that made me feel some kind of way about me, but why do I feel that? And so then I need to internalize, and there must be some truth to it. Because when it doesn't feel that way, we're able to move through it so much quicker.
Yeah.
Like if you say something that doesn't apply, I just kind of let it fly. Like you can say something, I'm like, okay, whatever, and we move on. But if it really hurts my feelings, why does it hurt my feelings?
Where do I find truth in that? Yeah.
Yeah, and also I know you're not ever actively trying to hurt me, because what are you not? Confrontational. Yeah. So then it's just like, that means I'm taking it kind of crazy. So then that's not on her. So if it's not on her,
we're in the kind of relationship where we don't say anything negative about each other. To be completely fair,
she doesn't say anything. No, she always tries to big me up, and we don't do that. And like, also, I said this once to her, and I feel like we really live it. If you didn't cut me, I'm not trying to bleed on you.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Like, if I didn't cut you, don't bleed on me. Yeah. Like, let's honestly like be there for each other. And like, if we're not trying to do negative towards each other, we're on the same team. Like, and we always really do try to take a same team mentality. But that's why it's so jarring when it's not same team. It's like, wow, like you're not an op. Yeah. You'll never be an op. But why is there oppish ways? It's looking real air. Check the weather in. It's looking real oppy outside.
I knew it. Yikes.
Crazy.
No, that's for real. Ever since the very beginning of our relationship, we decided it was going to be us against the problem.
Yeah.
And I think just repeating certain values to each other helps us to remember, because a lot of times we'll say it's us against the problem, and then we're remembering we're not enemies. And another thing that we say sometimes, if one of us is acting a little defensive or somebody's starting to feel defensive, then we'll say, I putting my sword down.
I'm dropping my sword.
I don't have a sword.
Zero sword.
We're just talking here. Like something like there's signature things that we've agreed upon that we say to each other. And we know what that means.
Yeah.
Like you might not necessarily be able to be like, hey, I'm putting my sword down, because in a random situation that could be detrimental. You can't just pull those things out. But these are things we decided on when we weren't arguing. Yeah. Like, maybe we'll say these things so that we remember blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, they're agreed upon beforehand. And it's one of those things where, honestly, that brings me to a good point. Just a quick segue. When you're in peace times, you have to talk about war times. Yeah. Like, honestly, like, just because things are good doesn't mean they're going to be good forever. Yeah. And it doesn't mean they're going to be bad forever. But if you talk about them when you're in good times, the bad times are much shorter. That's like, right. You legitimately have to go over your partner, because what you're saying when you're feeling good is who you are. What you're saying when you're feeling bad is how you feel. You know what I mean? And like, feelings are fleeting. Like, think about it. You feel hungry, but as soon as you eat, are you hungry anymore? No, you feel full. That's how quick that shit changes. You don't want to be the kind of partner that acts on like that immediate feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And I know that like you and I, we, like I said earlier, we don't say anything negative about each other. Also, we don't say it to each other. We don't say it to other people. No. We don't say it on social media.
Don't catch me saying a bad word about my person.
How does social media play a part? I know that social media can cause a lot of arguments in relationships.
To be completely honest, in the beginning of our relationship, social media played a part. Like, we each had things, like, not just you. I've had things that were concerning in the beginning. You had things that we felt like were concerning in the beginning. But what do? We brought them to each other. We talked through them. You know, sometimes they weren't as much talking as just like trying to figure out, and just, don't get me wrong, we've hurt each other's feelings, but we got through it. And like, not only that, are we better for it? And we were truthful and we were honest. And now social media cannot hurt my feelings.
Not at all.
Like, not to delve too deep into it, but just know that like, she can do what she wants to do. I do what I want to do as far as social media goes. Yeah. And we do it together, and we're like a united front. When you see me, you see we.
Exactly.
And so it's like one of those things.
If you're in my DMs, he's probably seen that.
Exactly. And vice versa.
You know what I mean?
Anything you DM me, odds are she probably saw it, and we're cool with it. Yes, but like at the same time, if she's not cool with it, then you're probably blocked. Because that's how we operate. Like, it's not really a democracy. It's more so we agree. And if one person doesn't agree, then we both disagree. Yeah. Like, immediately. Like, I'm not pleading anybody's case that isn't my person. It's not up for debate. Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, like, it really is. I don't know what else to say. Maybe it's a monarchy, or like, it's just like one of those things. It's a dictatorship. That's what it is. That's the word I'm looking for. It is. There is no wiggle room. If it messes with the kingdom and the queendom, we don't want it.
Hey.
Keep it pushing.
You ain't never lied.
Simple as that.
Facts.
You know, I mean, you know, we all lose when the family feuds, and so we're not trying to feud.
You have a line for everything. I swear.
I really do. You know, we all lose when the family feuds.
All right.
And it's just the truth. Like, you know what I mean? So when we keep the family together and united, you know, together united, never be divided. We're all good.
What? See? Can we get the counter? How many times is it? No.
Ding.
There's two things I want to say about social media. One thing about us that I think is interesting, and I don't think this is necessarily needed. I don't think this is needed for every relationship, but it's what works for us, is that we don't ever even make jokes that would make anyone think anything about our relationship that was negative.
Oh, that's a fact.
There's a lot of very funny
BS where it's like, oh my God, my wife, or oh, my husband such a like whatever, or my boyfriend sucks. Yeah. My girlfriend gets it. We don't do that.
Yeah, we don't do anything like that. And like, there's a lot of stuff that's like super funny content or whatever else that's making fun of like your other person. And it's cool when people have relationships like that or whatever.
If you play like that, you play like that. We don't.
I'll cry.
I'm not trying to make her cry. Did you just hear her? I'm not trying to be like, ha, 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 blah, 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 blah.
I'll think about it every day.
She will. It'll be like 10 years later. And you'll be like, you remember back in 2023?
Let me give an example. There was a reel that you sent me on Instagram, and you were like, see, I would never make a reel like this. And it was a woman who made a reel about how she reads all the texts way faster than her boyfriend does when they like watch something with subtitles or like reading something on the phone. She's like showing him a meme and she's waiting for him to laugh and it's taking too long. I am a slow reader, guys. And it's not even that I'm a slow reader. I read it fast, but then I have to reread it to process it and then read it again to fully comprehend. I just read it like 5 times before I understand.
So she reads it super fast. It's just the comprehension.
5 times fast.
She just corrects herself. She just tries to make sure.
I correct myself.
It's like duplicates and triplicates of the same thing.
Exactly. And so because of that, and he reads crazy fast. So he'll be done. Like, first of all, Star Wars is like your favorite thing. That intro, I'd be like, what happened again? What did I just read? I can't even read it again because it's so far away. Where'd it go?
In a galaxy far, far away.
Baby, let me tell you, I don't think I've ever read one of those all the way through because of that until me and you watched what?
Probably Revenge
of the Sith. I'm sure it was that. And I was like, wow, let me find out these actually say something important. Let me tell you what else. I used to get really bored with all the words when I was younger. I'd be like, Republic.
She doesn't mean this. She cares about midichlorians.
I used to love episode 1 so much I'd watch it on repeat over and over.
Tell us who your favorite character from episode 1 was. Y'all listen to this.
Now, why'd you do that? It was Jar Jar Binks. I don't give a crap. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care what y'all say about Jar Jar Binks. I didn't see it as a child, and I see it now. But he was a lovable character. It was fun, and I love a lovable Dodo.
Well,
like that's my favorite.
Since we're talking about the argument,
and he was like,
I'm not gonna argue with you now. You got it, champ. Jar Jar Binks. You saying Bombad love. That's how you feel, don't you?
Did we just say we weren't going to say nothing about our partners on social media? That was actually a fact, though. That wasn't.
Yeah, that wasn't a dig.
It wasn't a dig if it's real. So was the reading. But
you read amazing, baby.
You're amazing.
You're a super reader, just like Super Wise.
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, because you just did that, I'm also going to say one other thing that really also helps is that he also will not co-sign any negative thing I say about myself.
For what?
You'll be like, I don't co-sign that,
like, yeah,
but I valid. Your feelings are valid.
I'm like, sure, if you feel that way, whatever. But that's not how I feel. I gotta let it be known.
Your feelings are valid, but I'm not co-signing.
Because every once in a while we'll have a moment where it's like raining outside and something messed up, and she's like, "I'm a fucking dum-dum," and I'm like, "I don't feel that way."
But I understand how you feel.
Yeah, I'm like, "Hey, I can get that. I've said that about me. I'm never gonna say that about you, but live your life. Hey, no telling where it'll take you."
Oh my God. So the other thing I wanted to bring up about social media is it's really easy to fall into the grass is greener mentality.
Oh, that's a fin act.
Yeah. Like you see all these like perfect families making these reels together, doing a whole choreographed dance, and everybody knows how to do the Dougie and I don't. You know what?
I know how to do the Dougie.
Forget that family. Because they only have that one room clean in real life so that they can make that video. That family's me. Hi. No, I'm just kidding.
We have more than one room clean.
That's true. No, yeah.
If we got to tell it, then we got to tell it all.
If I want to tell it.
Damn near cried when I got that phone.
How many songs have we sung?
Let's get it.
No. But yeah, I think it's really important to just recognize that social media is not a realistic
It's not real life. They don't even keep it realistic. Like social media pretty much is the best of whatever somebody's trying to present.
Exactly.
Even us. Like we're not perfect. You know what I mean? What you see is some polished, or if it's not, we literally be like, this is what struggle looks like. We'll label it. But outside of that, it's just like whatever we want you to see.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's what everybody's doing. So please don't judge your worst by somebody else's best.
Yes, definitely.
You're unpolished by their perfectly like crafted product. Like you can't do that.
But also, even in regards to like, I know social media tends to be a big thing in regards to like cheating and stuff like that. Like people talk about, and I'm sure that like having 75% Instagram models on there
doesn't help, right?
Is real difficult for some out there.
Yeah, not for us though. We send each other off the cheeks.
Yeah, but that's not what I was getting.
No, I know it wasn't.
We do though. We do.
But I just wanted to say that we understand that Instagram models are out there. We don't hate you. We support you. Do your thing.
We do support
you. But at the same time, we support you. Like, notice the key word, we. And I'll let her finish her point now.
The point being that I feel like people are constantly looking for the better model, the younger, prettier model of what you already have, like new and improved, 2.0.
Let me tell you something. It's not new and improved. It's just different. And different isn't good. Different is different. And if that's what you're always chasing, that's what you'll always want. Once you finally get that person, guess what you're going to want? Different. So don't look for different. Water your own grass. The grass, you know why the grass is greener? Because everybody's watering that grass. If you water your grass, guess what your grass will be? Pretty damn green.
Green. It's
green as.
But also, those things aren't real. Like, what's real is depression. If
my God, let me tell you something.
Is that person going to be there for you when you're depressed at home eating a pint of ice cream? No.
Hey, worse than that, let me tell you something. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Like, you over here clicking the Instagram models' pictures and, like, dude, maybe in their DMs, whatever the case may be. Do you think they give a fuck if you don't have enough to fix the tire on your car and, like, you can't get out of bed because payday is, like, 2 weeks later, but you can't get to work for 2 weeks and no one's trying to hear that? Do you think that Instagram model who's throwing cheeks cares about that? She doesn't. Not at all. Not at all.
No.
So you know what? You know what you need to do? Maybe, I don't know, pour love and attention and time to the person that might care.
Yeah.
That you're having those
because
situations.
then that person will be able to pour into you. I've noticed that you and I, when we have the energy, we give the energy. You know what I mean?
We definitely try to fill our cups.
Yeah. Everyone's not going to have it every single day. But we try and give 100% as often as possible.
And 100% of whatever we have. And the complete to be completely honest, there's some days where I have 25%, but if I give it 100%, she feels it and she knows it. And vice versa. I'm not asking for some Herculean effort. Like, I'm an adult and I know that you've had a whole day because you're an adult. So, like, if all you have left is 10%, but you give me that's 100% of what you had.
Yeah.
And I feel that. And, you know, I try to reciprocate.
Mathematical.
There you go. Look at that. Adventure time.
Right. That's all you can ask for is somebody who's giving their best, because at the end of the day, that's what matters. And if you have somebody who's really putting their all into you, really pouring into your cup, and who genuinely loves the person who you are, I feel like you should put work into that. It's always going to be work.
It's going to be work. Like, I don't like.
And there's always going to be arguments. Like, I'm not confrontational, but I have to accept the fact that it's going to happen, and I have to remind myself, well, I can't just freak out every time there's an argument. You know what I mean? It's going to happen. It's inevitable when people are in an enclosed space for extended periods of time, and there's 4 of us in here.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean. With kids, it's a lot more.
Can I say one thing? And I got you for
yeah.
So this is me, the Roger J. Jones, coming to you as a real person. Like, arguments are a part of life. You will never see 100% eye to eye with some person, but the problem is that person is not your enemy because they have an opposite opinion. Hear me out. If it's your person, if it's a friend, just because their idea might oppose yours doesn't mean that they're your op. Like, you really have to hear out what they're trying to say and take your ego out of it. Like really push that part of you down and really listen. Because if you're actively listening, you'll hear what the problem is. And there's usually some sort of bridge you can cross or just meet in the middle. Because at the same time, the reason why they're feeling the need to cry out so hard is because they've been silenced. Like, and we've all know what it's been like to be silenced. So like, you got to give them a voice. If you give them a voice, you'll hear something.
Yeah, for sure. Well, sir, I think that about wraps it up. The one thing I did want to ask,
yes,
is our question from the audience, our question from our fans. Is that really? It's probably a friend of ours.
Hey, our community. I feel like
it's a question from the community. There it is. I like that.
Yeah, like y'all gang. I'm not gonna act like y'all ain't
from the community, as we always end our podcast with. Today's question is: would you leave your significant other for a celebrity?
I don't have to, because me and my significant other will get down with said celebrity. Boom. Mic drop. But also, if that celebrity is trying to divide me and my person, oh, you can kick rocks. I don't give a fuck that you're famous. That's weird.
Yeah. So bottom line, the Nano. Like, would leave them for a celebrity?
Say
no.
The Naners.
No.
Leaving? Never. You see
but
this?
Also, let me tell you something. I feel like there's a couple hall passes. I feel like there's a couple people who we were like, first of all, we do everything together because we're best friends.
Or even if we didn't, like you were like,
no, I'm
you were like, babe.
Hold
on. Okay. I was gonna say there's certain people. I don't know if I want to say this on camera, but if you were like, babe, I had sex with blah 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 blah, I'm like, yeah, I know. Like that was like you
cool.
know. Yeah, I was like,
cool story, bro.
That's like a meteor shower. I don't know when Haley's comments coming back. You might as well catch it while you can. Hey, I'm not a hater. Hey, can I ask you a real question? In our whole relationship, have I ever been a hater?
No.
Have you ever been anti-good time?
No, you're never anti-good time.
I'm not anti-good time at all.
I am.
Well,
no, I'm just kidding. You just like before, you're like, I don't condone any negative comments.
Yeah, like if you can keep it positive, then we're all good.
Right.
But as soon as you try to comfort me or mine, it ain't nothing that cut that off.
Yeah. Who are some of the hall passes? Who do you think? Because I feel like here's the thing.
Wait. All right, let's answer for each other because I think that's funny.
Okay. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Because if one of us wasn't there, like say like yours, for instance, I'm going out of town this weekend.
And I just so happen to go to the farmer's market and run into XYZ.
Yeah.
I get that. Okay, I'm with you.
The reason I use an example is because me and JJ never leave each other's side.
We don't. We're attached at the hip. If I'm not at work, we're pretty much together.
I'm trying to make it realistic. Okay.
Okay.
But if I did.
So you want me to start?
Yeah. You're gonna say who's one for me?
Yes.
Okay.
And for you, I'll go both male and female.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna start with female though. Tessa Thompson.
Okay.
I feel like if you run across Tessa Thompson in the energies match, like I know you would probably try to want to be more masculine than this, but at the same time, you're gonna let her take over, and we know this. And that's
let me tell you, with Tessa Thompson though, I feel like that's like a Beth and Beth situation for Rick and Morty. Is this a mirror?
And guess what? They both knew how to make each other get there. So my next point, old girl from Valerian.
Yeah, you two ladies? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, am I wrong?
No, not at all.
All right, and so now I'm gonna go dude, Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. Yeah. Great. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, no, it could be great. I'm not mad at you. I'm not hating. I'm trying to think. Do I have to do another dude? Is it bad to have another woman?
No, you don't have to. You have another woman?
Oh yeah, Michelle Rodriguez. And say you're not.
Oh,
say yeah.
I only have one for you.
Hey, wait, hold on. 6 drunk, but he never missed a target.
Okay,
all right. But did I miss it? Wait, can we tell?
Because no, you didn't miss.
Okay.
Michael B. Jordan might be off, honestly. Because honestly, I don't know. Like I think he's really attractive.
In the safety of our relationships, if I'm talking about like this is a one-off.
He does seem like a safe choice.
So I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
He seems like
in all these situations, I mean like a one-off. Like this is a fluky deal.
I know, but like I don't know, something about like guys everybody likes gets on my nerves.
Can I tell you something? And I appreciate that. She is a contrarian.
I don't. And
she's
I mean
always
to guys,
counterculture.
So I'm mean to men.
Okay, so I'll replace him with Jason Momoa, and then we got a guarantee.
You keep choosing these like very, very muscular men, and to be honest, like
I've heard what you said about
hurtful.
I've heard what you said about Aquaman.
Yeah,
so that's why I went. That so all right. Like, so then
I guess so. I mean, hey, when in Rome, I guess.
Do as the Romans do. Yeah. All right, so now we'll move on to me.
One of those would work.
Can you imagine how many blurred women are over here saying she turned out Jason Momoa and Michael B. Jordan? Who is she holding out for?
Let me tell you, humor gets me, and so that's why when I think of them, neither of them are that funny.
Should I say Eric Andre?
I'm kidding. Baby. Don't make me throw. Anyways, let me say yours.
Okay.
It's Rihanna.
Oh, I mean, I'm cracking Rihanna.
Yeah, of course. It's Rihanna.
Yeah,
that was easy. Because if I name women you actually like, they're a no.
Oh, you see how I was free to just let her be.
Yeah.
She said, "Fuck you."
Yeah, I said, "Too bad."
It's too late to apologize.
I was like, maybe. And I said, nope. Here's why, because early in our relationship, when you said you liked them, I immediately hated them, and now it doesn't go away. Now that we're in this space that's more comfortable, it's too late.
That's fair enough.
I hate them. But Rihanna, even neutral. She wasn't brought up. Beyonce also, what am I going to do?
To be completely fair.
Say no?
To be completely fair.
To me?
I don't think you fuck Beyonce.
Me? Yeah, no, I don't think anyone does.
Yeah.
I think
let me
she's
be
like a beacon of light.
I would present her with it, and if she was like so kind of bless me with some creme de la meow meow, then I gotta, you know what I mean? I gotta go for it. I got to. That's historic. That's iconic.
The things I've heard from people who have met Beyonce in person, like not at like her concert or something, but in an enclosed room, like a meeting or something like that, have said that she just exudes like.
Exactly. So imagine being 1 degree removed from Beyonce.
Like, you know I can't even understand.
I'll be 1 degree removed from Beyonce. If you get there first, I'm not mad at that. Rock it till waterfalls. You know what I'm talking about?
Lord Jesus. Yeah. Well, if Beyonce came up and was like, "Hey, your boyfriend," like even if I was there, I'd be here he is.
I'm like, me?
Enjoy anything I could say.
Vice versa.
Give to the
if Beyonce says your girl's looking mighty snackish.
Beyonce, don't watch this.
If you're hey Beyonce, do watch this. If you see this and you're like your girlfriend's looking mighty snackish, I'm like, have a bite. Can I watch?
She's like, no.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. I just need to know.
I'm like, still great.
I don't care if I got to be in Denver and you're in like Illinois. I don't care as long as I know it happened. Can I get a text confirmation when it's done though? Like just like a thumbs up, like
a text confirmation.
All I need is a blickadoo. Oh shit. Okay, cool.
I feel like that's top 2, and they're not.
They're not 2.
Exactly. Beyonce all day. Here we are. How many songs is that we've done this episode?
I don't know. But Beyonce and Rihanna, if you want either one of us, hit either one of us up. I feel like you can find our numbers pretty easily. Like you got that kind of clout.
And this brings us to the end of our lovely